everybody, welcome to 60-minute access of Yakuza Kiwami 2. I'm Bronson Fiore, joined by a Mr. Brandon Smith.
Hello, customary. Can you turn it down a little bit?
Just
that's hella loud.
True.
This is every episode we go through this.
Well,
you'd think eventually we would just probably do a test recording first to see how loud the TV is.
So
it's still too loud.
It's okay. It's because loud rock scene.
Yeah.
So what ends up happening is I end up streaming with Steph,
and you need
and everything is 1,000 times louder.
Right.
Versus this. So yeah. So Yakuza Kiwami 2, it's a remake of Yakuza 1. And we have not played literally any of this. Because they sent it to us a little early.
So,
but due to recording schedule, we're posting this after release.
Right.
But yeah, also there's limited amount of people here that work with us. So.
Are we recording this after release?
Barely.
Barely. It's just coming out right now.
Yeah. Letter of Blood.
Metal title. We're gonna go through a bunch of story. Can we skip the story?
Nah.
Damn it.
Why would you want to skip this?
Because I hate feeling like I'm talking over story.
Yeah, it's alright. We can just talk about the story.
Yeah.
That's kind of the biggest part of the Yakuza franchise for me.
It's the biggest part for most people, I think.
The minigame stuff and the beat-em-up stuff is fun. The early 1980s, Kamurocho, Tokyo. Oh, okay, so this is set before Yakuza 0, this part of it.
Right. Video games are getting pretty good at rendering faces.
Yet so many games do it wrong.
I know. No, it's when you have to animate it, that's where it gets fucked up.
It falls apart.
Yeah. When they have to talk and emote.
Yakuza's still pretty good about the animation aspect, though.
Yeah. You could tell a lot about this guy from his character design. Yeah. Which is always the perfect sign of a good character.
That's actually one thing I really like about Yakuza. They do character designs really well and whatnot.
That is kind of character design 101 is if you design a character and you don't know anything about that character based on how they look.
You have failed.
Yeah. I mean, look at fucking Batman. You look at, remove all cultural context from Batman and you take one look and you know exactly what he's about.
Yeah.
Superman, same shit. Spider-Man. Well, Spider-Man's a little different, but...
It's the mask. Masks are hard.
Masks are hard, but if you look at Peter Parker, you know what Peter Parker is, yeah.
I always really liked the Yakuza games. Supposedly they're remaking 3, 4, and 5 for PS4 as well. So
cool.
Then you'll be able to play all 6 on this system, but prettier.
Is that all they do, is just change the graphics?
No, they update some of the mechanics. They made 1 far less tedious.
I was gonna say, I feel like they would make it play a lot more like the more recent titles, right?
Yeah, that's what they do. Now, granted, I haven't played all the way through 2 ever. It's the only one I'm missing.
Right.
So this is actually a new experience for me.
That's cool.
But my favorite one, barring me finishing this and loving the crap out of it...
That guy's eyes looked so weird in this.
Is Yakuza 0. My least favorite is probably 6.
Yeah.
Which is weird, because it's the newest one. I'm also glad this is actually in Japanese, so they actually have to write the subtitles so we can talk over it all we want.
Right. I was thinking that too. I was also thinking it would be a lot less authentic experience if it was in English.
Yeah. The first 2 games actually were originally in English?
They were... Yeah, same with Resident Evil.
Yeah.
That awful dub of Resident Evil came from Japan.
Huh. Mark Hamill was in Yakuza 2?
Yeah.
That was weird. He was Majima.
That's cool. Probably one of his earlier voice acting roles.
Yeah. That game came out 05, I believe? 06?
Yakuza 2?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Not super early for him then.
Yeah.
Damn, the fucking textures in this game are...
They've always done a really good job with that in these games.
The skin texture is great.
Like, even in, like, Yakuza, like, 3 on PS3, it was like, damn.
The skin texture is so good, it's, like, making me realize, like, how, like, not amazing the hair texture is by contrast.
Yeah, hair's
Still
hard.
looks good. Hair is hard.
Like, both NVIDIA and AMD have, like, tried to do, like, hair tech, but, like, failed miserably.
I think, like, Square Enix is, like, kind of one of the few that, like, nails it, but they kind of have to, because their hair defies logic. But even then, like, a hairstyle like this is, like, infinitely more difficult than a hairstyle like Cloud.
Well,
You
yeah,
can kind of make your own rules with.
Cloud versus this, where it's, like, real hair.
As an aside, as an interesting aside, for Final Fantasy VII Advent Children, they had to, like, because the animation for its time, well, I mean, even now it looks really good, but for its time it was, like, borderline photorealistic. And in order to achieve that look, they created a lot of those assets in real life. Like, they had a Cloud wig and everything so that they could put it through different elements and see how it animates.
The thing about...
Or how it moves.
December 14th, 2006. Oh, hey, my mom's birthday is December 14th.
Nice. Happy birthday, man.
And my cousin. Anyway, the real-time rendering is significantly different, though,
Than movie, yeah.
That's why games are so, like, pain in the ass to do, partially.
Right. I'm sure they're like... Well, like, nobody really does pre-rendered cutscenes anymore anyway.
Very few people do, but, like, yeah.
Kind of a relic of, like, the PS2, PS3 era
Yeah.
of games. Like, Kingdom Hearts' pre-rendered cutscenes were few and far between, but they always looked incredible.
Final Fantasy X.
Yeah, 10 and 13.
The personas
12 too,
with their, like, anime cutscenes, Catherine.
Those are a little different, though. I think
Yeah.
that's like a stylized thing.
Yeah. This feels like a Yakuza game.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Japanese hair is cool.
また1年前のようなとんでもない事件が起きるんすかね。
そうなってもらいたくねえんだが、桐生さんがいてくれりゃ。
Cool.
Ooh. You know, people threw a fit about Kiryu not being in Tekken, because like Namco did a big poll, like, who should we bring to Tekken, and then like
He was like one of the top.
he was like the top by far.
Well, they're teasing season 2 right now.
Yeah, and
So-
and then people were like, at Sega, Kiryu? Question mark. And like Sega was like, oh, fuck yeah, we're down to be in Tekken.
Yeah,
And then like Namco's like, no,
that sucks.
or
Well,
at least they haven't announced it yet.
season
but-
2, maybe.
But considering the creator of Tekken knows nothing about Yakuza and he wears a T-shirt that says, "At Evo, don't ask me for shit."
I love that. You never know. Season 2.
I'm hoping.
Yeah.
That'll make me switch my main from Guy Fieri and Akuma to Kiryu.
Kiryu, yeah.
I
Is
don't
that
even,
gonna go on that Negan hype train?
no. I don't even play fucking Bob because he's good.
Right.
Or I like playing him. I play him because he looks like Guy Fieri in my costume.
Yeah.
That
Because he's funny.
Yeah, that it's like when I win, I can say I'm taking you to Flavor Town.
That's true. What a great episode.
That tweet got so much ground.
Yeah. Press A to throw your child over a cliff.
Press A to murder child.
Right. Press A to fucking yeet your child into fucking nothing. Is this John Wick?
Yep, Japanese John Wick.
I'd watch it. John Wick is dope.
仲間の恨みなんだ。俺たちは待っていたんだ。復讐の時をただひたすら待っていたんだ。
Fuck. I'm tired.
I am too.
We just did like a 2-hour podcast.
Hour and 30.
Hour and 30.
Yeah, it was hour 30.
Fuck.
Still not that bad.
No. That's like hard to like sit around and just sit for like extended periods of time though. That's why I'm always tired in these videos, by the way. I have like a very short attention span. And like we sit for at least 3 hours every recording session, probably usually more.
I remember back in the day when we'd really bulk record, and Anthony and I ran the podcast with Aaron. Like, literally, it would be like a full day thing.
Right.
Like a full 8 hours. Like, we'd take breaks.
Yeah.
Normally, we'd go get lunch at the mall, but like, yeah.
Yeah, but I'm sure you guys were like drained by the end of it.
We were very tired.
It's just, it sounds stupid, like, oh, I sat down, I'm so tired because I sat down, but like, really, your body kind of like shuts down over time.
It's also like, just this job can be mentally taxing.
It can be, you have to be entertaining.
You have to be funny or insightful.
Right. We're normally neither, but we're pieces of shit. It's easy to self-deprecate.
Yeah.
It's easy to self-deprecate, and I feel like people go to like self-deprecation as like a default for being funny.
Yeah.
But also it's like fun to self-deprecate.
It can be.
Oh, I was like, I've just not been reading the subtitles at all. Like, I was like, I don't understand what's happening, and I'm realizing.
It's like a flashback to the previous game.
Right, but I'm like...
Man, look at that sick-ass back tattoo.
That is a cool fucking back tattoo.
Ray has a Kingdom Hearts Yakuza tattoo. He
yeah,
gets so salty when you call it that. It's like, it's not a fucking Yakuza tattoo. Dude, it's a giant back piece.
It is a giant back piece. It's not done yet either. Once it's finished, it will be.
He's gonna rip off his shirt and just get in brawls all the time now.
Yeah. Fucking... I was at a party and we were talking about how we should start a fight club. And then I was like, no, wait, we should start a fight club where we all get together and talk about Fight Club. The first rule is talk about Fight Club.
I mean, that's kind of what Fight Night is.
Except we don't talk about Fight Club, we play games. I'm just like, we talk about the movie Fight Club.
Can we talk about Fight Club while playing fighting games?
Yes, we can. There's a lot to unpack in that movie. There's a lot to unpack.
Oh, yeah.
It's a good movie.
I saw a really good meme the other day where it's just like, someone's like, oh, retail therapy, a dumb person. Oh, buying something will make me happy. It's me, a smart person who's seen Fight Club. Fighting someone in a basement will make me happy.
Right. Do you own a copy of Fight Club?
No.
I have an extra copy of Fight Club if you want it.
I'd be down. I haven't watched Fight Club in a long time.
Dumbest thing ever. I went to Walmart the other day.
This is recapping the events of the last game.
Nice. I went to Walmart the other day and I bought the copy of Fight Club on Blu-ray that has the Deadpool cover. Because it had the Deadpool cover, and I was like, I don't think I've seen Fight Club. Or, well, I know I've seen it, but I mean, like, I don't think I have a copy of Fight Club. Was going through my DVDs to pull out Drive with Ryan Gosling, which is the greatest movie ever made.
Have you ever seen Torque?
It's not Drive.
But it's Torque.
But it's not Drive.
Yo, there's a motorcycle that drop kicks people.
That's fine. But Ryan Gosling rides around LA and murders people while listening to Synthwave, and that's all I need in any movie from now on.
Alright, so we should do a double feature of Drive and Torque.
Triple feature of Drive, Torque, and Blade Runner 2049, because he also spends Blade Runner 2049 driving around LA and murdering people and listening to Synthwave.
Put that in notes. That'll be a movie night. Please put those 3 movies down.
Let's do a Ryan Gosling double feature plus Torque.
Yes.
Look, all I'm saying is any man that makes fun of any other man for being a Ryan Gosling fan hasn't seen Drive or Blade Runner 2049.
This is true.
But anyway, I bought Fight Club not knowing that I had already purchased Fight Club previously. So you can have my DVD if you want.
I would happily take a Fight Club DVD.
Right.
I don't know Fight Club.
Fight Club's a good-ass movie.
So... Okay, yeah, we're gonna...
skip
We
get to the gameplay.
yeah. Let's get to at least.
Get to the down to the nitty gritty kitty titties.
Nope, we're good. We know what happened in the last game.
It's cool though that they use a graveyard as the hub for like reminiscing about previous games though.
I like that the fact that all the Yakuza games have a thing where it's like, hey, did you not play the previous games? Let's catch you up, boy.
That's a really good thing to have.
Yeah.
Honestly, it's
Especially in a game like this.
yeah, because there's so much story.
Like,
It's like a Japanese movie.
Because like I started on Yakuza 3 and like the menu says, yo, reminisce, and I'm like, reminisce, and I click on that and it's like, here's all the story for the past 2 that you missed because it came out like 4 years ago on the PS2
Yeah,
and you're American.
right. So you probably don't know this shit.
And
Also, it's like cool to see older games in newer games, if
Yeah.
that makes sense. Like,
I know.
yeah,
Like that scene in Metal Gear 4.
right,
Having that dream again.
yeah. Or just Donkey Kong and Donkey Kong 64.
That's pretty great. Mario 64 and Mario Odyssey.
Right.
See?
Pretty crazy to have, like, what's crazy about the Donkey Kong in Donkey Kong 64 thing is, like, that wasn't, like, the NES port that Nintendo, it was just the arcade version. Pretty cool. They had to, like, probably build that from scratch.
You know, that OG Donkey Kong on the arcade was supposed to be a Popeye game, but they couldn't get the license.
Interesting.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
They also they also, because of the name of Donkey Kong being similar to King Kong, being a
Right.
giant monkey, they got sued by Universal, and then Universal lost the lawsuit and had to pay Nintendo a massive fucking settlement.
I'm sure that was pretty nice for Nintendo.
They were probably very happy about that.
Right.
Especially because they weren't, like, they were big, but they, like,
They were big in different. So, like, Nintendo started out doing Hanafuda cards. That was kind of like their big marketing thing.
that branched out to toys and love hotels and
Yeah.
all kinds of weird shit.
I want to go to a Nintendo Love Hotel.
Kind of hotel pays by the hour.
Want to get like a nice lady. Take her to the Mushroom Kingdom. It's gross. I have sullied the name of Nintendo.
Get a Japanese hooker, take her to a Nintendo fucking love hotel.
I really want to believe that there's like a Mario themed Love Hotel.
Oh, please tell me that's a thing.
No other game but Mario. Maybe no, Kirby would be like worse.
Oh god, could you imagine begging in a
Take her to
Kirby-
Dreamland.
Yes! That's beautiful! I'm gonna take you to Dreamland, baby! Oh god.
So Sega's not sending us any more review copies.
Ooh, blacklisted by Sega. Alright, we got like 2 more companies
Yeah.
left, and then we're done. You call the day.
No more TGA.
This game is M-rated.
Right.
They've talked about prostitution in it. I'm not.
They're probably pretty good on whether or not we talk about. It's less the prostitution thing and more the Nintendo thing.
The fact that.
Sega won the console wars. Look, man, I was more of a Genesis kid than a Super Nintendo kid anyway.
I was definitely a SNES kid, but you want to know what? Let me tell you why the Saturn, in some ways, is better than the N64.
Why?
Because the Saturn got arcade-perfect ports of fighting games,
They did?
such as X-Men vs. Street Fighter.
Right. Didn't they get like a... Oh, no, never mind.
They got Virtua Fighter.
Virtua Fighter.
They got, I think they got a Samurai Showdown. They got the better version of Street Fighter Alpha.
Nice.
Yeah, fuck yeah.
I like...
Fucking Saturn was great.
I know, yeah. I like the Sega Genesis because of its library of exclusives. Because Nintendo, I would say Super Nintendo probably had better games. But Sega Genesis had Sonic the Hedgehog. And that's all I really need.
I mean, it would be cool if that I liked more Sonic games from that era.
Oh, they're all good, though. Every Sonic game that came out in that era was good.
Sonic 1 is not a good game.
Sonic 1 is a great game. Sonic 2 is a better game.
No, Sonic 1 is not good.
Sonic 1 is fantastic. Fuck you.
Sonic CD is great.
Sonic CD came out on the Sega CD.
Yeah, I can say that the Genesis still.
Yeah. Fucking Sonic 3 and Knuckles.
That game's great.
Fucking Sonic Spinball.
And
Sonic fucking Dr. Robotnik's Mean Bean Machine. You're here to tell me that the Sonic Empire wasn't full of fantastic Sonic Fighters?
Okay, now you're just being crazy.
Now I'm just reaching. Now I'm just being a dick.
Now you're just being crazy.
Look, Mario World is good.
Mario World's great.
Mario World's a fantastic game.
It's better than all of those games except Sonic CD.
Sonic 2. No. I love Sonic.
Sonic 2 is great. It's just no...
Sonic 2 is perfect.
Except it's no Mario World.
Except Mario World's soundtrack is nowhere near as good as Sonic 2's soundtrack.
Let's see, lock on with...
Huh?
Hold on, sorry, I'm trying to... Okay, hold on.
I'm gonna paint that suit red. It's already actually getting stained. That's cool. It's subtle. How does he not go in a Tekken game? It's perfect. What was the last Yakuza game we played?
6.
6. That's what I thought.
We kind of made the mechanics different for this stuff.
How the fuck is Nagano still alive? For the tutorial, probably.
Oh, there we go. There we go.
You're kind of just proving that guy's point though, because like his whole thing was like they wouldn't dare ambush me. We're in a fucking cemetery, and then. Oh, he's. Yeah, I don't know. I was misinterpreting things because I wasn't paying attention
And
to
he
the
got shot in the
subtitles.
chest. Wow, those blood effects. That was cool.
It was weird. It looked like a 2D graphic.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna be like, gonna tell you the Saturn's not a great system unless you really love arcade games and like arcade ports and fighting games.
Did they ever put SNK games on there?
Oh yeah. So I mean,
You got Metal Slug?
probably. I know it's on the Neo Geo. I had a lengthy debate at the last E3 I went to with Thomas about why the Neo Geo is in fact awesome.
It's great. It's got Metal Slug.
It's got Samurai Showdown.
It's got Samurai Showdown. It's probably got Puzzle Bobble.
Yeah, has all those SNK fighters.
All the SNKs, they were all on Neo Geo cabs, right?
Yep. That was all those.
The SNK cab is also iconic. Or the Neo Geo cab, sorry.
The Neo Geo, like, it was like arcade perfect ports,
right?
which at the time was a real like big fucking deal.
Well, yeah, because you fucking don't get any arcade perfect ports on the
Super
SNES.
Nintendo or the Genesis.
Yeah.
Like yes, that Street Fighter port was like admirable. It was good, but
it wasn't fucking.
wasn't like arcade perfect.
yeah.
So, like yeah, you got that on the Neo Geo.
You know when I was
you
a
just had to
kid-
pay $800 in 1993 money.
Right. I got Donkey Kong on the brain right now. And when I was a kid, we were talking about ports, and it made me think about it. When I was a kid, I had Donkey Kong Country on the Game Boy Color.
Wasn't that shit?
I remember it fondly because I was a child.
That's how I feel like.
I was like probably 13.
That's how I feel like the Donkey Kong Land 3 on the 64.
Right.
Or not the 64, the Game Boy.
Right, the Game Boy Advance. I had Donkey Kong Country on the GBC, the Game Boy Color, and I didn't notice a difference between that and the Super Nintendo version, which my mom was a very big fan of when I was fucking 12.
Okay.
Because I could just play it on road trips and shit. And then I was watching a video series from the Geek Critique about Donkey Kong Country, and it's fucking night and day, and I guess it never really occurred to me before.
Huh.
Anyway, I thought that was of mild interest. Like, the ports can be so... I know the Sonic the Hedgehog port on fucking GBA is Garbo.
Yep.
Hot, steamy Garbo.
I
don't know how you fuck it up either.
What else was there? I don't know. I'm like arcade perfect for the longest time was a big deal
It's impossible.
until like Dreamcast happened.
Yeah.
That's when arcade you got
Even through like PS2 though, didn't they like struggle with arcade perfect ports.
Sometimes, but like we got arcade perfect like Street Fighter 3
Yeah.
and arcade perfect Marvel 2.
I know for a lot of like newer fighting games that were coming out, they started using PS2
That's
and
like the
Xbox
base.
like hardware as like the dev kits. I know if you go to Japanese arcades, they have this like arcade exclusive Dragon Ball fighter that was, I forgot what it was called, Dragon Ball Z Battle Royale or something like that. And it looked fucking incredible, and it was built off of PS3 hardware. And I think they used PS3s to play it in arcades, or at least like very similar hardware. So there was a lot of speculation that was going to come to PS3, and then it never did. But the graphics were not cell shaded like they normally are. And it was really cool.
I know that like
I think the city is also played on PS4 hardware.
oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Arcades. One thing that was a big like thing for Evo is like Evo had to move to consoles,
Right.
because well,
Makes sense.
it's so big and like getting them the arcade cabs,
Getting that many cabs is impossible.
and then moving to them to that spot.
Well, and
is
then
even more impossible.
broadcasting those arcade cabs had
Yeah.
to be a fucking nightmare and a half.
Yeah, so it's just like they had to move to consoles, and that was a big stink,
Right.
especially for like the Street Fighter 2 like community and like the Marvel community and whatnot.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think we're at the point though where like arcade cabs wouldn't make that big of a difference.
Kind of not anymore.
Yeah.
Arcades themselves are like, it's obviously like a dying art. Have you ever met David? David Rakovitz? He's awesome.
He does seem cool.
He is keeping the arcade alive.
I love the arcade culture for fighting games, which is part of the reason why I love Evo.
Right.
Like
Well,
that's
like-
it's
It's
like-
why people play on fight sticks is because like it feels more genuine, I guess.
it's the genuine arcade experience.
Yeah, it feels more authentic, I think is what I was looking for.
Yeah, like it's I like
It's not necessarily easier to play on a fight stick, I would say.
in my opinion
Kind
it's,
of a preference thing.
so this is just me personally.
Right.
It is harder to learn on a fight stick, but you do have more control
Yeah.
once you get to proficiency.
Right. But you have to get there.
Yeah. The only game I'm really proficient in a fight stick anymore is Street Fighter 4.
Right.
Like, if you put me on SF5 or Dragon Ball, I would have to relearn the game.
Yeah, me too. You have to learn the button mapping. I think that's the real learning curve there.
That one is Dragon Ball. That'll be an issue for me. Street Fighter now.
Yeah.
That's because Street Fighter is just such a legacy, like being on a stick.
So you kind of like inherently know.
Yeah, like
It's cool that they've kept it like consistent for the
light,
most part.
light, medium, heavy, kick, punch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
どうしても大悟に会っておきたいんです
Well, this story,
よした方がいい
there's so much of it.
なぜですか
It's cool.
It'd be cool if I was paying more attention to it. Even in our Yakuza videos, we're talking about fighting games.
Kira,
We
you,
just can't escape it.
Kira, you should be in a fighting game.
He should be in Tekken.
You should be. That might actually get me to play Tekken.
Tekken's cool.
I'm bad at it, and I don't like.
You don't really want to learn it.
Like I don't feel the need to get good at it. Like it doesn't feel as good to me, I guess.
It feels fine. 7 feels great.
7 is the best it has felt.
Yeah.
I will say that much.
I think it's the kind of game I own it. It's the kind of game I would get good at gradually over the course of just having many fight nights and having many mini Tekken tournaments.
It's not like my thing with that game is like it's not like Street Fighter or Dragon Ball or like even DOA where I want to like practice it in my free time.
Right. That's kind of what I was saying about it. It was like we're at fight night. We're all playing Tekken anyway, and I'll pick up some pointers and learn a little bit more about it every time.
Yeah, it's not like Street Fighter where I'm gonna like go into training mode at home and like
Oh yeah, no, not at all.
and put in the work. Like in
For me, those games right now are Dragon Ball and Blaze Blue. Probably gonna be SNK Heroines when that comes out too. Probably put a lot of time into that.
Waifu Fighter.
Waifu Fighter.
Drag.
Why? Don't fuck with me.
Dragon Ball has been my what it has been my like practice game of choice. Also, one thing I want to point out about this game, the layout of the city is literally the same in every game. It just changes with time.
That's kind of cool.
Like how even in Yakuza 0, it's that layout where it's it's just set in different time periods.
That's super cool.
And occasionally there will be a second town. So, for example, in Yakuza, oh my god.
This game is smooth as butter, holy shit.
Yeah, I believe this thing runs at 60, I'm not sure.
It looks really fucking good.
We need to find something, however. There we go. That's what we need. There's something we must always do when we play a Yakuza game.
Yeah.
And you know what that is.
I do.
Yeah, see, that's the same park where you always find bums at in these games.
Even the fucking NPCs have great faces.
Yeah, this is in the Yakuza 6 engine.
Huh.
Versus 0, which uses the 5 engine.
Right.
Ah, damn it. We have to do the cutscene.
Ugh, fuck.
Boy.
My favorite Yakuza is still 0, though. 6 had all these, big improvements, but, the story just doesn't work. Yes, I know.
Whoa.
Where's their weapon? Yeah, fuck it. That was funny.
Awesome. That traffic cone is the same size as him.
More dudes to fight! Also, Yakuza does have, the best finish animations in video games. Oh, please tell me I have enough heat action to do this. Where are the knives? There they are.
Oh shit.
Yeah! Oh, boy! Okay, grab a weapon and then press to put stash it for later. Okay. Oh, okay, that's cool. That's new. Or at least it's...
You could stash the weapons.
Yeah.
That's cool. Not a bad inventory size.
Yeah, they, so apparently... So that must have been something that was only in 0, or that must have been something that was either A, only in 0, or that they, put in for this remake.
Right.
Okay, so I can choose. Okay, so they chose to keep the same stat system from 6. So instead of leveling up abilities, you level up stats.
Right.
You get most of your abilities from the start. Do you really want to fight me again, bro?
Do you really want to fight me? Do I really have to kick your ass?
I want you to learn Street Fighter.
I would be down. I just don't want to buy Street Fighter right now.
Yeah, that's fair.
A lot of my friends play Street Fighter, though.
Thomas, well, we have access to a top 64 Street Fighter player.
Right.
So, I feel like that is an easy ask.
Well, I need to learn Dragon Ball first. Or, more Dragon Ball. I need to get better.
That's fair.
I also am the only person that plays BlazBlue in our group.
Yeah.
But I like it a lot, and I want to learn more of it.
I mean, that's fine.
I just want to learn a lot of different stuff.
It won't let us do it till we find him?
Damn.
We're gonna do karaoke. I don't care if we have to run a little long.
I
God
do.
damn it.
I care if we have to run a little long.
I don't.
I'm falling asleep over here.
We'll just stand up then.
No, we'll see how this goes, because I'm not... I'll walk out.
You'll walk out. Fuck. Hold on, let me check them out. Oh, oops.
Make for an interesting end of the episode.
Just me sitting here playing karaoke by myself.
All fucking quiet and shit. It just gets, weird.
It's always weird. Oh, okay, he actually... Wow, okay, so... No, they carried a bunch of stuff over from 6. They carried a ton of stuff from 6.
Is this him?
That is definitely not him.
That lady? Not him? Just okay.
Alright, how can I finish this guy? There we go. Not what I wanted, but also not what I wanted.
Yeah. God damn.
That one wasn't nearly as savage, but still pretty sweet.
The angles were better.
The last one just like stab him and then just like fucking knee it into him.
Right.
Okay, Daigo's goons. Okay, yep. Alright, cool. Let's go to Club Shrine so we can talk to Daigo.
And then that will get us karaoke.
Hopefully. Opens up the open world so we can go to fucking karaoke.
That's all we need.
That's all we need in life. Oh, should we probably turn on light so you don't get us tired?
But it'll be hotter. It's really hot in this room. We have to turn off Bronson's AC every time we record.
Otherwise it picks up on the mic.
Yep. It gets so fucking hot.
Okay, cool. Yeah, alright, cool. Thank you. This is not my first one of these. I know how to play them.
Right.
This is my...
They don't know that.
This is my 7th one of these. Boom. To be fair, we also have 24 minutes left, so...
It's not much.
Yep.
It's not much. This isn't exactly a dreg to get through either. It's interesting.
Yeah.
I'm just not paying attention.
Oh, please.
Are you gonna fucking wait? Damn.
It's so weird playing this just because Kiryu's not an old man.
Right.
Like in 6, he is old man Kiryu who is just done with everyone's shit.
A lot more attitude.
Like he's just like, dude, you do not want to fight me.
Right.
And what I love about 6 is like everyone knows he's a legend, like he's the dragon of Dojima and shit.
Yeah.
And people are like, I'm still gonna fight you, and I'm like,
dumbass.
it's like, why the fuck?
Yeah.
It's like, I'm gonna be the legend who beat this guy who beat up an entire army of goons.
It's like everybody that keeps challenging Batman. It's like, why do you do that? You know he wins. All those thugs that are like, I'm gonna be the guy to make the bat bleed in Arkham. You're like, you're not.
That makes even less sense. This is like, oh, he's just a man.
Well, at least it won't be hard, right?
I always like the combat system in these games. Like, it feels like a mixture of, like, a fighting game with, like, Batman. Okay. And... Brandon?
Yes.
Jesus Christ.
Fuck. I may or may not have spaced out a lot. We'll put it that way.
What do you have to do after this?
Huh?
Just going to bed after this? Just hanging out?
Might take a nap. Might take a nap. There's supposed to be a party going on at Vanderstoker's at around 1. I can't, like, pass out.
AM?
Yeah. Well, there's another party before that.
Okay.
They're moving over to Vanderstoker's.
I was about to say, just like, fucking, I'm an old man.
Yeah, these things usually go until about 6, which is good for me. because
Well, yeah, you live grave life.
so I can't like pass out. I can only like nap.
That's why well, to be fair, my grave shift was like significantly shittier.
Right.
Because like if I fell asleep, like I kind of just had to sit around. You actually have to like.
I gotta stand and be active, so it does help keep me a little bit more awake. Yeah.
Yeah. Versus me, where it's just like.
You know whose job is worse than both of ours?
Was.
Kiryu's. By a wide margin. I'd rather work at Tesla than
Beat up
have
street
to go
punks.
around and beat the fuck out of people for a living. Sounds hard.
Sounds fun.
Sounds fun, but it sounds hard.
It's like you are paying your debts.
Right.
Boom! Especially if you're in that kind of shape.
If you're as good as Kiryu, maybe.
But
if it was just me doing that job.
That would be so terrible.
Yeah.
Do you imagine us doing his job like as a pair? It's like, yeah, you two are almost as good as one Kiryu.
That'd be a good video series. That'd be a good us reenacting games, but as us instead of the game characters. Like Breath of the Wild, I just kind of like wake up and I'm like me, but half naked, and like I have to find a sword and fight Calamity Ganon.
Look how good this looks.
It looks amazing. Damn, them rim lights.
Want to make it look better though? The lighting of ray tracing.
Ray tracing. Gotta get that 2080 Ti in here. What did the GT and the GTX stand for?
I forgot. Probably G-Force.
What's the T? GeForce Turbo X.
So like the GT, so there used to be like two video card series, like GT and then like GTX was the gamers one.
Right.
And they just kind of dropped that, so it's probably just a legacy thing.
Yeah. GeForce Turbo X sounds like the most like direct-to-DVD fucking like 90s Power Rangers ripoff ever though.
I'm just thinking about Torque still.
I think you mean Drive.
I think I'd be both.
Both.
Yeah!
Have you seen Drive?
No.
It's an incredible film.
You've seen Torque, right?
No.
Okay. This is gonna be good for the both of us
It's gonna be a
then.
good night. It's gonna be a good night.
Motorcycles fucking drop kicks people.
Ryan Gosling just vaporwaves it up in the most vaporwave movie ever made, besides like Tron.
I support this. I like the Proto Man.
Yes.
They're supposed to be in San Jose on like the 8th of October, and I'm thinking about taking a day off.
Let's do it, dude. I'm down.
Oh, they're putting the shit in engine now.
Nice.
Daigo.
I don't love motion blur, but it looks okay here. I actually kind of hate motion blur, but it looks okay here.
There are places where motion blur can look good.
I just don't like the motion. I don't know. It feels lazy.
Like I like it in Doom.
It feels lazy.
I'll say this: it is typically used to mask a low frame rate.
That's what I'm saying.
Like it's,
well, I guess that it works in that respect.
Like it's typically meant to like mask that like, oh, the frame is dipping really bad here.
In movies, motion blur is meant to hide any sort of flaws in VFX work or action sequences that they didn't want to finish or that they didn't have the money to like do better. So it's usually used to hide flaws and make the action seem more intense, and it's just kind of a lazy way to do it.
Yeah, in games, it's the action thing still applies to games, but it's also like to hide technical limitations.
Right. Makes more sense in games, I think.
Yeah, well, I think it also looks better in a lot of games. Like,
I don't think it looks very good, honestly. It still looks kind of lazy to me. Again, Donkey did a video talking about graphics in video games, I think was the... I don't know, man. I never remember what the point of Donkey's videos are. I just remember specific moments. Because Donkey is hilarious. But he was talking about Uncharted 4 and how, like, the motion blur in that game looks fucking garbage, but there are mods to get rid of it. Or maybe you can do it in game. And it looks infinitely better without it than it does with it. You can like see the environment as you turn. Feel the heat, dude.
Holy shit. That was cool.
Took out a good chunk of health. This is already like a fucking fighting game.
This is already cool as shit. That was beautiful.
That was dope.
That's only the beginning. I love how hyped these games get.
Yeah, they do get pretty hyped.
Every Yakuza game, like by the end of it, I'm just like, it was so fucking amazing!
Right.
So it's like Metal Gear Rising, you play that?
Yeah, yeah.
How great is the end of that game? You're fighting the fucking senator on top of a mech and he's...
Yeah,
oh, God.
It's insane. It's like Nier. Nier is another game where it just builds.
Nier, you have to play through it like at least 3 times.
Oh, yeah. Delete your save.
That part was cool.
It was cool.
It's really neat.
I like when games get meta like that.
It was neat in you to help other players.
Doki Doki Literature Club. It's like one of the coolest meta games of the last of the year.
It's cool, but like when it was brought up during Game of the Year last year, like Ray and I just like rolled our eyes.
I wouldn't
super
put
hard.
it in Game of the Year, but I think it's like it's a dope execution of an interesting idea.
Well, like part of the reason we do those awards is so we can give like everything their props.
Yeah,
like it's why when we're cutting the when we're going through a list of 40 games and we're cutting them, we talk about them even though we know it's not gonna make it.
Right. So the thing about Doki Doki Literature Club that I dig is that they used an idea that other games have used, but not quite as effectively, and they used it super effectively specifically in the horror genre. And it's just insanely immersive because it's already a dating sim, and then they don't talk about the character anymore. They talk about you, the player, and fucking I don't know, like it's hard not to feel engrossed in it and get a little creeped out.
Yeah.
And it's free.
This is true. But that was a game we definitely talked about during Game of the Year. It's just that when you have to lower down to 10 and even and especially a year like last year.
Right, I wouldn't have put it in top 10.
Where it was just
I wouldn't have put it in top 10, maybe top 20.
Like last year our top 10 not in order was Zelda, Horizon, Mario, Persona.
I wouldn't have put Horizon in top 10 either.
I tried, man. Nier, Hellblade, A Night in the Woods, Cuphead.
Night in the Woods deserves it for sure.
Yeah.
Cuphead too.
Cuphead, Yakuza 0, and what was the last one? There's one I'm missing. Well, still.
I like how he just beats the fuck out of the guy and then comes up and offers a drink.
But,
that makes me think about I was talking to one of my female friends, and she was talking about how fucking obnoxious she finds it that all of her female friends hold grudges against other girls. And then I was like, yeah, I don't know. When dudes hold grudges against each other, they just kind of fucking get all aggressive and then stop caring. And that's what that reminded me of, just that exchange of he just beat the fucking ever-living shit out of him and then brought him a drink. It's if you and I got into a fucking heated argument, we would argue about it and then go get food.
Well, yeah, I think that's definitely a very male characteristic.
It is for sure. It's easy. I mean, I've got people I've held grudges against before,
for sure.
To the point where I don't want to talk to them or whatever. But also it's never been so bad that I didn't feel like I could work shit out, you know?
Right. Versus I feel like women hold grudges against other women and men way harder.
I think it's a social. Ultimately, it feels like a social construct thing because women are at risk of getting a little bit too political.
Just say it.
At risk of sounding fucked up, women are kind of expected to be more emotionally charged than men are, I guess, on a social level, even though a lot of the times I've seen the opposite. But, with guys, it's if you hold on to shit too long, you're kind of like a bitch or a pussy, and nobody really wants to be that. I think it's just, the way a lot of men are raised. I think that too, yeah.
Because,
it kind of plays into that, though.
Because, if you go to, a fight night, or, anything that is mostly men, granted, we've We've invited the women to fight night. They just don't show up.
Yeah, it's always dudes. It's
Yeah.
always dudes and Kay on occasion.
It is dudes and Kay.
And Stephanie sometimes.
Yeah, like it is like 90%.
And they're
dudes.
usually just there because we brought them.
Yeah, like they're usually there, and they follow the rule of you need to hop on the sticks at least once,
Right.
and then they're done.
Right.
Yeah,
Kay likes fighting games.
that's cool.
She enjoys playing them. I just she feels like she doesn't know how to play them very well. So I think we could help her.
We need to have a separate room that is just teaching.
Yeah, that would be. We could have just like practice nights even.
Yeah.
You know, like not every fight night has to be all about the tournaments, or the first half of it could be like last time where it was
just like fucking around.
it was us fucking around and learning shit, and then we could take to like an actual tournament.
Exactly.
All fighting games, every single fighting game ever made from this point on, needs to have a built-in tournament mode.
Oh, it was so fucking annoying having to run it ourselves in Tekken.
Fucking Dragon Ball has it, and it works perfectly.
Yeah, a lot of games have had it. It's just it feels just like lazy not to have it.
Right, those people just fucking spirited away up, by the way, like they just disappeared. That was weird. I get why, because you started to fight. But
Thanos was here.
yeah, I guess so.
I don't want to go, Mr. Slade.
But no, fucking every fighting game from here on out needs to have a tournament.
Well, yeah, because how fucking annoying was that when we did Tekken and
We had
Street?
to fucking write it down on paper.
We had to be like, okay, remember your number from Dragon Ball.
Right.
Like, please remember your number. Thank you.
It's not that hard a fucking feature to include. Smash gets an exemption because it's a fucking party game.
Melee had a tournament mode.
Even the fucking trashiest party game out there had a fucking tournament. I'm sorry, Melee as a fighting game is the trashiest fighting game. Definitively, I think. Just because of the player base.
Yeah, no, the Smash community is garbage.
Yes.
Never play Melee again. Please.
I mean, if you're at someone's house and they have a GameCube and Melee.
And that is the only game they have.
Right. Even if it's not the only game they have, even if it's just you and a friend and you're like, I feel like booting up some Melee.
I guess. I mean, it is an alright party game.
But, if you're going to a fight night...
If
you're going to a fight night and you're not playing at least Smash 4...
What are you doing?
Right. And only Smash 4 because there's an 8-player Melee.
Yeah, it's a fun break from the real fighting games.
Right. And then you get back to the real fighting games and actually play a game.
Yeah.
It's a fighting game.
Like Street Fighter or Tekken.
Right. That you're not going to get actually salty at.
Yeah.
Everybody gets fucking bitchy as shit with Smash.
Yeah, that's so weird too. Like
specifically with Smash.
Like I don't see why everyone gets so like.
I mean, I get bitchy about it.
I get why you get mad in Street Fighter.
Right. But people don't get nearly as butthurt about it.
Oh no! I remember people ask for rematches. If you beat Ray real good, he'll fucking.
Yeah, Ray gets kind of salty.
But
even in a tournament, Ray was asking for rematches and shit.
Or
when we were playing Dragon Ball, Ray wasn't giving up the sticks for a while.
Yeah.
I get why he needed to practice, but still.
Oh yeah, no.
There are hella people there.
Yeah, well, especially when we got to the point where we were at.
Right.
There we go. That's what I was looking for.
Did he buy a copy of Dragon Ball yet?
Yeah, and the
Good.
season pass.
Good.
Yeah, he wanted to borrow my fucking game and everything. I'm like, the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah, no. Do you ever let people borrow your games?
Yeah, I'll let people borrow games, just not ones that I
actively play every day.
Actively play constantly all the time. Be if someone was can you borrow right now I'm currently going through Last of Us.
Right.
And it's can I borrow Last of Us? No, because we are streaming it.
You're currently playing it.
But if
someone was can I borrow Call of Duty?
Yeah, I'd be yeah, go ahead. The thing is, I'm very particular about how I treat my cases, though.
Yeah,
So I have a loaner case.
That's cool.
People.
That's cool. That's a good idea.
Yeah, it was a very
good investment of 50 cents.
Yeah, it was a good
Sure, you could go to GameStop and just ask for one of the spare cases, right? And they
Yeah.
probably just give it to you.
Yeah, probably.
I know if you buy a game, like a used game, and they have the new case for it, and you ask them for the new case for your used game, they'll probably give it to you.
In a lot of cases, yeah.
Yeah. Kind of depends on how cool your GameStop workers are, but it's not very often that people who work at GameStop just are like dicks. You know, like they get it, they're gamers.
Oh yeah, for
Even
sure.
if the company is like kind of shit tier. Like that little avatar is adorable.
That is. Does it tell me if I'm singing or background?
I don't know.
Why not? We'll figure it out.
Alright, karaoke time.
I wonder if they do the weird music videos like the other ones.
Probably depends on the...
The song.
Yeah. Oh, is your controller making noise?
A little bit.
Have you seen Agretzko?
I have not. I've heard a lot about it.
You should watch it, it's great.
Oh. I like how they made his voice actor actually
all
sing.
these.
Yeah.
Yeah. Probably wasn't a hard sell. Japan is like one of those... I mean, in entertainment in general, you should be able to do anything as an actor or voice actor. Most voice actors can sing. But in Japan, it's kind of like required, I feel like.
I feel like in Japan, like their karaoke is a big thing there versus like here, the only way you get people to do karaoke is if you get them to drink first.
Not necessarily true. When I lived in LA, karaoke was super popular.
I think that's...
I think it depends on where you live. In Reno, for sure.
Yeah,
But everybody in Reno is a fucking belligerent drunk. Always.
true.
I don't know who thought it was a good idea to bring those line bikes to Reno, but Reno is ruining those things.
I see them in my neighborhood all the time because I live like close enough to downtown. Well, you live
Yeah.
here too, so...
Yeah, I've seen them close to me. Within the first week of the line bikes, if you don't have them, are like bikes that you rent via a phone app for
Like
X amount of time for like $1, but like it's dependent on the distance you ride, I think. So if you just want to get from like one area of downtown to the other, you can rent a line bike, or if you just feel like taking a bike ride or whatever, you can do that.
It's adorable.
Look at his little avatar. It's cute. And they dropped him off in Reno a few months ago. Like, beginning of the spring, I think. And within the first week, people were already, like, fucking with them. Like, throwing them against walls, or, like... The very popular meme was, like, someone put it... There's a bridge in downtown with, like, large arches going next to it, and they... put it on top of the arches on the side of the bridge, which is impressive considering how many cops troll downtown Reno. Looking for dumb shit like that.
That is actually fairly impressive.
I want to cement one to the floor. I want to like find a spot with like wet cement and like put a line bike there overnight. And let the cement dry.
Wow.
With the bike in it. That way it will permanently be there.
Just to signify line bike. This is...
It's just funny. It's funny because, like, they were like, oh, Reno's big enough now, we can do that. And, like, yeah, Reno's bigger, but Reno people still live here. This is why we don't get nice things.
I'm from Reno, I'm nice.
Yeah, but...
I had good parents, though.
Yeah.
Most people in Reno did not.
Well, and even beyond that, I don't think it's necessarily, like, a jackass thing to do to, like, put a bike on the top of a bridge. I think
the ones that I think the ones who are like throwing it in the river, that's a jackass thing to do.
Yeah, there's a lot of jackass things you can do with that shit that like you're putting a lot of faith in people to like be good. And that ain't Reno. We will never get those motorized scooters that you rent.
It's just such a bummer.
It's a bummer because it'd be fun, but also like, yeah, I don't know, man.
Aw, you're remembering your homie. from 0
Oh.
and 1 that you had to murder.
What a fucking wholesome series of photos.
Do you think we're ever gonna get that thing that LA has where it's like you pay a couple bucks and they drop off a car and you can drive it anywhere within city limits?
No.
I forget what it's called.
Well, yeah, maybe. Maybe after a while. In
Yeah.
major cities like LA and San Diego and San Francisco and places, they have like bike rental kiosks where it's like a bike rack, like where you lock your bike up, except they have a bunch of bikes locked up there. And I think that's a much better business model than Line Bike, because with Line Bike you just kind of pick it up anywhere and you go.
Yeah.
Whereas this you have to like rent it from that kiosk using their little thing and then take it to the next closest kiosk.
I think Line Bike though, like the app has a map.
The app has a map, but also like the reason why I think the city bikes are
family. Oh.
the reason why I think the bigger city bike rental things is smarter is just because like people can't do things like take the Line Bike to another city or like take it all the way to Sparks and then leave it somewhere stupid. Like they have to return it to a thing or it'll keep charging your card.
Yeah, I think that thing in LA is also smart with a car, where it's like as long as it's anything within city limits. And, like,
Right.
Because like it used to be, you could not live in LA without a car.
Yeah.
That is like
It's still like super hard too.
yeah, but at least that is a thing now. So
Yeah.
anyway, everyone, that's been a solid hour and 2 minutes.
That's an hour of Yakuza. Yakuza
it
Kiwami 2.
it feels like more Yakuza. It's a good thing.
Yep. You like Yakuza, go pick up Kiwami 2.
I'm not sure. Like, it's weird. Normally, a series like this that been getting yearly releases. In this case, 2 each the past 2 years.
Right.
Like, I'd normally be burnt out, but I'm just like, give me more.
Yeah.
So that's probably a sign of how good they are.
Good games.
Good games. Better than Shenmue. The modern, better Shenmue.
Yeah.
Because some of you have been playing Shenmue because you make poor life choices.
It's by Yakuza.
Better.
Unless you like want to hurt yourself.
Don't self-harm, kids.
Shenmue is like notoriously bad.
Shenmue is like the video game equivalent of self-harm.
Right.
No, wait, that's Melee.
Yeah. Melee is like the party game equivalent of self-harm.
There you go.
Good party game. Good party game.
Bye, guys. We love you. We'll be back next week with Guacamelee 2.
Nice.
Bye, all.
You wanted to say Octopath Traveler.
We can record both.
Yep.
Bye,
All right.
all.
Look forward to things.